Part A. Situation. You are Wendy Fong, a Secondary 4 student. Your English teacher, Mr. Anderson, has assigned a term project to your class. The title of the project is Healthy Eating for Better Learning. You will work with your classmates, Stanley Leung and Stacey Tung, on this project. In Part A, you will have a total of 4 tasks to do. Follow the instructions in the question-answer book and on the recording to complete the tasks. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer book and on the recording. You now have 2 minutes to familiarise yourself with tasks 1 to 4. Task 1. You are now talking to Stanley about the term project. Listen to your conversation with him and fill in the note sheet below. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1 minute to tidy up your answers.
Hello, Wendy. You look a bit miserable. What's up?
That term project about healthy eating for better learning. I've no idea how to begin.
That's because you were absent yesterday.
Mr. Anderson said the questions on the handout would help us with the project, but I don't see how.
I've already finished the first part of the project. Maybe I can help you.
You're the best, Stanley. OK, let me just get the note sheet where I wrote the questions. OK, what is this project and what are we supposed to do?
The project, Healthy Eating for Better Learning, is a project about healthy eating for students. The reason why we are doing this project is that there is a growing concern about the increase in teenage obesity. You know, more and more teenagers in Hong Kong are becoming fat.
Look at me. I'm a walking example of that. Anyway, what is the aim of the project again?
The aim of the project is to raise awareness among teenagers of the importance of healthy eating.
Hang on, just let me write that down. Raise awareness among teenagers of the importance of healthy eating.
The second aim is to find out how eating healthily can help their studies.
How eating healthily can help their studies. That's why the title of the project is called Healthy Eating for Better Learning. So, what do I have to do?
There are 3 parts to the project. In the first part, you will have to write a proposal to the school management committee. In the proposal, you have to think of ideas about how to encourage teenagers to eat healthily.
Hang on, just let me make a note of that. The first part of the project. Write a proposal to the school management committee. In the proposal, I have to make suggestions on how to encourage teenagers to eat healthily.
Yes, the second part is to do with the school lunch program. This is the part where Stacey, you and I have to work together. We have to design a new lunch program for students. We also have to make suggestions about what kinds of food should be served to students at lunchtime.
Okay, make suggestions about what kinds of food should be served to students at lunchtime.
The last part of the project is about better learning. We also have to work on this part together. We have to design a brochure to inform students that healthy eating has a positive effect on learning.
So, we have to design a brochure to inform students that healthy eating has a positive effect on learning. Where can we get the information for the brochure?
We can get the information from the internet and the handouts that Mr. Anderson gave us last week. Do you still have Mr. Anderson's handouts?
Yes, I do.
Good. Stacey and I are going to meet this Friday at the school library. Can you come along so that we can discuss the school lunch program and what to put in the brochure?
Next Friday. Let me see what date that is.
It's the 22nd of April.
No, it's not. Next Friday is the 21st of April.
Yeah, you're right. The 21st.
Sure, I can meet you two after school.
Perfect.
So, is that everything for the term project?
That's all at the moment.
Thanks a lot, Stanley. That is the end of Task 1. You now have 1 minute to tidy up your answers. Task 2. Stanley, Stacey and you are talking about the menu for the new lunch program. You are taking notes. As you listen, complete the note sheet below and tick the boxes showing the dishes you propose to add to the lunch program. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1.5 minutes to tidy up your answers.
Let's talk about the new lunch program. We have to make suggestions about the kinds of food to be served under this new program. Let's talk about that now. Wendy, do you mind taking notes?
No, not at all.
Well, I remember Stacey and I talked about having both Chinese and Western foods on the menu.
Yes, that's important because the new lunch program should have a variety of food.
Under the new lunch program, students should be served healthy food and the menu must have variety.
That's right. Wendy, could you make a note of that?
Sure. Students should be served healthy food and the menu must have variety. Okay.
We also decided that each meal must be served with a plate of salad and a glass of water. Right, Stacey?
Yes, that's right.
That means students will get a plate of salad and a glass of water even if they order Chinese food.
Yes. The food that we will serve in the canteen must be low fat and low salt.
Low fat and low salt, right.
And we said that our preferred methods of cooking are baking and steaming. Baking and steaming are both healthy ways to cook food.
The whole point of this new lunch program is to encourage students to eat healthy food. Stacey suggested some dishes for the new lunch menu. Could you make a note of all the advantages and disadvantages in case we have to justify our choices?
Sure, Stanley.
I remember we said the sweet and sour pork is popular among students and it is tasty. But I can't remember what we said about its bad points.
Yeah, what did we say about the sweet and sour pork? I seem to remember there was one disadvantage.
Oh, I remember. We said the sweet and sour pork is popular, but it is high in fat because the pork is fried in oil before it is coated with the sauce.
But it is a popular dish among students. Shall we put it on our new menu?
No, we shouldn't. The food provided under the new lunch program must be healthy.
OK, so no sweet and sour pork.
What about a grilled chicken sandwich? That's certainly a very healthy dish. It is low in fat.
Would students like grilled chicken sandwiches for lunch?
I know that some students do not like sandwiches.
Yes, but it is a healthy dish. It may take students some time to get used to eating sandwiches for lunch. I think they will eventually enjoy it.
OK, we will add it to our new menu. Let me put a tick here in this box.
Another healthy dish on the list is pan-fried salmon. It's healthy and nutritious.
But there are problems with serving salmon at school. First, it is expensive.
That's true.
Second, you can't prepare pan-fried salmon way in advance. Pan-fried salmon tastes awful if it is not eaten immediately after it's cooked.
That's right. I'm not a big fan of salmon. Right. Then I suppose pan-fried salmon is not such a good dish to serve at school. OK, let's take a look at another dish. Organic pasta with tofu. One obvious advantage of this dish is that it is healthy and low in calories.
But I think tofu is quite tasteless.
It depends on how you cook it. Tofu has a lot of protein and protein gives us energy.
I think we should put this dish on the menu because it is healthy, low in calories, and full of protein.
OK. Right, we've come up with only 2 dishes for the new lunch programme. It's not enough. Perhaps we should go home and think of some more suitable dishes.
Yes, it's getting late. Let's meet again next Monday to discuss the food again.
Is that everything then?
Yes, I think so for now.
That is the end of task 2. You now have 1.5 minutes to tidy up your answers. Task 3. You have found a podcast that you think will provide you with useful information. Now you will play the podcast to your group members. Listen and complete the note sheet below. One has been done for you as an example. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1.5 minutes to tidy up your answers. Hi guys, I found this really good podcast on the government website. It's all about healthy eating and better learning.
Great. Can we listen to it now to hear what it says?
Yeah, I've only listened to it once, but I haven't taken any notes on it, so we could jot down the main points as we listen.
Yeah, OK.
Right, hold on, just a second. Right, that's it. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. My guest today is Dr. Davis, a nutritionist in children's health. He is here today to talk about healthy eating and how eating healthily can help students improve learning.
Good morning.
Dr. Davis, perhaps you can start by telling us how to eat healthily.
Sure. Well, it's always good to simplify. Instead of being overly concerned with counting calories or measuring portion sizes, think of your diet in terms of variety and freshness. This way, it should be easier to make healthy choices.
So, you mean we have to eat different varieties of foods and we have to eat fresh foods?
Yes. You should try to stay away from processed foods and frozen foods. Try to eat dishes that incorporate a few fresh ingredients every day. As we all know, fresh foods are more nutritious and delicious.
Should we eliminate unhealthy foods from our diet?
Well, I don't think you should ban all unhealthy foods from your diet, because it's natural for us to want unhealthy foods, such as potato chips, sweets, or ice cream, once in a while. Your body will crave these kinds of foods if you eliminate them suddenly from your diet. What you can do is reduce the portion sizes, and to not eat them as often.
I guess you're right. I find myself craving foods like ice cream or donuts if I force myself to stop eating them altogether. I guess I can eat them occasionally.
Yes, why not? Moderation is the key. Many people often think of healthy eating as an all-or-nothing proposition. They ban unhealthy foods totally from their diets. That's wrong. It won't work in the long run. The goal of healthy eating is to develop a diet that you can maintain for life, not just a few weeks.
Sorry for stopping it. I missed the last bit. Did anyone else get it?
Yeah, Dr. Davis said the goal of healthy eating is to develop a diet that you can maintain for life, not just a few weeks.
OK, got it. Right, I'll start it again. Hold on.
Now, Dr. Davis, could you explain how eating healthily can help students improve their learning?
Research shows that healthy eating can improve children's concentration and help them do better in school. Fresh foods contain more vitamins than processed foods, such as vitamin C or vitamin B. Vitamins help improve memory function. Also, fresh foods or healthy foods give students more energy.
So they have more energy to study and to take part in school activities.
That's correct. Eating a healthy diet helps students stay fit and strong. Eating a healthy diet also keeps students' brains healthy. For example, eating a diet that contains good fats, such as omega-3 fatty acids, keeps our brain healthy.
I suppose eating a healthy diet also helps students maintain a healthy body weight.
That's right. Eating a healthy diet helps students maintain a healthy body weight and will prevent diseases like heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure.
OK, I'll stop it here. I need to go. Do you think this is useful?
Definitely. We can use the notes you've made in our write-up.
That is the end of Task 3. You now have 1.5 minutes to tidy up your answers. Part B. Open your data file at page 2. Situation. You are Terry Tung, a 15-year-old boy. You are a member of a charity called the Young Lions. Mrs. Sally Smith, the president of the charity, has asked you to help organise a food fair in Tai Po to promote the concept of healthy eating among young people. You will listen to a conversation between Mrs. Smith and yourself about the food fair. Before the recording is played, you will have 5 minutes to study the question-answer book and the data file for Part B1 and the question-answer book and the data file for Part B2. Remember, you must choose to do the tasks in either Part B1 or Part B2. Do not attempt both Parts B1 and B2. Complete the tasks by following the instructions in the question-answer book that you choose and on the recording. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer book, the data file that you choose, and on the recording. As you listen, you can make notes on page 3 of the data file. You now have 5 minutes to familiarise yourself with the Part B question-answer book and the data file. The recording is about to begin. Turn to page 3 of the data file.
So, Terry, how's preparation for the food fair coming along?
Good. The dates have been fixed. Hold on, I've got them here. Yes, it's running from the 22nd of August to the 25th of August.
From the 22nd of August to the 25th, so pretty soon then.
Yes, we have a permit from the government. We can use the Taipo Waterfront Park for the event.
Taipo Waterfront Park. Where's that?
It's a park right opposite the Taipo main market.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke to Kevin Lee of the Leisure and Cultural Services Department this morning. He said we could use the park from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Perfect. That will give the vendors plenty of time to sell their goods at the fair. Will there be refrigerators at the park this year?
Oh, yes. We'll have 3 big refrigerators at the park. We received many complaints from our vendors last year, saying that their fresh produce had gone bad because there were no refrigerators at the venue. We've got this problem fixed, so don't worry.
Good. Vendors can use the refrigerators at the park, but they must let us know in advance and tell us what they want to keep in the refrigerators.
Just let me make a note of that. Vendors can use the 3 refrigerators, but they must let us know in advance and tell us what they want to keep in the refrigerators.
Make sure that you put those under the guidelines for vendors.
Yes, Mrs. Smith.
And we'll feature mostly organic food at this year's fair.
So, does that mean that all the food and produce sold at the food fair is organic?
No, not all of it, but close. 90% of the food and fresh produce sold at the food fair will be organic. Each participating vendor will be given a small booth to sell his or her products. The size of the booth is about 180 square feet, although we have a few large ones that are about 500 square feet.
So, the small booth is about 180 square feet, and the big one is about 500 square feet. How much is the rent for a small booth?
We'll charge $2,000 a day for the small booth and $4,000 a day for the big one. Have you written those numbers down?
$2,000 a day for the small booth and $4,000 a day for the big booth. Yes, I've got them written down.
Now, have you discussed the events at the food fair with the other members?
Yes, I have. So far, we have decided on 3 events, and they will be held during the fair. The first event is a food sampling session.
Food sampling? You mean cooked food or...
Cooked organic food. We will have a food sampling session on the first day. That's the 22nd of August from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
OK.
Right. The next event we discussed was to hold a talk on healthy eating.
Who will give the talk?
We have asked Dr. Larry Miller to give a talk on healthy eating.
Doctor who?
Dr. Larry Miller, the person who wrote a book about organic food.
No, you've lost me.
He owns an organic farm in Shenzhen, China.
Oh, Dr. Miller, of course. Right, so he'll give a talk. Good. When?
On the 23rd of August, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Do you know the topic of the talk?
Yes, the topic is, why should we eat organic food?
That's a good topic. And what about the third event?
The third event is a product demonstration. It will be held on the 24th of August from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the 24th of August. Right. What products will be demonstrated?
Products which are friendly to the environment.
I see.
Mrs. Smith, I guess that's everything about the food fair for the time being.
OK. Terry, you've certainly been busy. Maybe you can give me a further update in our next meeting.
That is the end of the listening component of this test. You will have 1 hour and 15 minutes to complete the written tasks in either Part B1 or Part B2. An announcement will be made when time is up.